Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my dear student. I think stay home and stay safe. Now I have to start my lecture too. This topic is computer architecture or computer design. First question, what is architecture? What is the computer design? Computer design and architecture, there are different parts, there are different components or device, how to make, how to join. It is called the architecture design. Architecture design, two different ways architecture design. One is Harvard architecture design. And other one, John von Neumann architecture. Harvard architecture design is published by Howard Icon, Hungarian mathematician in American citizen, Harvard University. He published Second World War this design. This design is contain two memory storage stored and one processor. That's means one CPU and two memory storage design. It is called Howard Icon design. After that, Second World War. After the Second World War, think that 1945, John von Neumann, one processor and one memory. It included the computer design. One is data program and instruction program is included one memory. On the other hand, Howard Icon data memory and program memory, two memory included design. It is the difference of the Howard Icon and the John von Neumann architecture. Now I describe the John von Neumann architecture. Look at the board. John von architecture, von architecture, von architecture. John von architecture. This is the diagram design. He published, his design is CPU, one part CPU, that's mean control unit, ALU, register, included memory, not included with the CPU, control unit and ALU, register. It is the separate of the memory. The CPU, that means CPU, central processing unit. Central processing unit included memory. It is also called system unit. It is called the system unit. System units carries the part of the control unit, ALU, register and memory. This is the CPU. But control unit, ALU, register, this is called processor. This is called the processor. The one processor, memory, design, input, output. This structure is called the John von architecture. Again, please look at the blackboard. Input device, output device, CPU, one part, control unit, ALU, register, this is called the processor. And other is memory part. This is called as the computer design architecture. It is the popular of the world. Nowadays, all the companies, these designs make the computer. Now, I briefly discuss CPU or system unit. What is the CPU? CPU, central processing unit or system unit. CPU parts is control unit, ALU register. It is called the processor. What is processor? Processor means microprocessor chip. It can be made by silicon chip. Million IC. IC included very large scale integration made by processor. Processor is the heart of the computer. Processor is the heart of the computer. It is called the main computer, main CPU. Processor is alive, computer active, otherwise computer no work. So processor is important of the CPU. Not only CPU, all of the components is controlled to the CPU processor. Processor carries control unit, ALU register. One of them, control unit, all the component, that's mean ALU register, memory, input, output device, control. How to data input to the memory by input device, how to data the result output by control unit instruction. All the control unit and ALU, also how to calculation, how to mechanism on the logical unit control, also control register, how to data store, control unit also register. That's mean control unit is the supreme power of all the components. It is instruction to all the and control all the components. And after that, ALU, arithmetic logic unit. These parts also calculate mathematical terms, calculations, operation. For example, subtract, multiplication, addition, and other different types of the mathematical calculation. Not only that, also logical operation. Logical operation means and, or, not, if, different types of the logical calculation also calculate the arithmetic logic unit. It is also controlled by the control unit. And next, register part. Register is the highest speed of the CPU, storage device. This is the temporal storage device. When ALU calculated the result, sometime stored in the register. Stored in the register is temporary, but afterwards it saved to the memory. Result saved to the memory. So register is the highest speed of the CPU. There are different types of the register. Register, program counter, memory, instruction register. That's mean PC, program counter, MIR, M, AR, AC, accumulator register, program counter, memory in instruction register, memory address register, accumulator register, flag register. There are different types of registers in these carries. Next of the memory. Memory is the primary memory. It is called also the main memory. This memory is the main memory of the computer design. Without memory, I don't think the computer design of John Monroe architecture. Memory design also data instruction and the program instruction, two program included and saved to the memory. Memory work instruction by the control unit. How to save, how to store, what is the address, what is place, data information saved by the control unit. It is very important memory unit. Memory unit carries two parts, RAM and ROM. RAM, ROM. Random access memory, ROM, read-only memory. Random access memory, temporary memory, and ROM, not temporary memory. It is made by the factory. It is not changed. There are different types of instruction, different types of the program, and included this ROM. For instance, this is BIOS. Basic input output system. Basic input output system include in the ROM. All the instruction, how to computer operate, how to computer start, how to computer work, all the instruction is the BIOS stored. This is the CPU and memory. Other two parts, input and output part. Input part that is part and which is carries, which is input the data information to the memory temporarily. Instruction to the computer control unit. Without control unit, input does not work. When control unit instruction save to the memory, data instruction and data instruction save. Calculation, arithmetic logic unit, calculation after that store in the register, and after that register in the memory. So different types of the input device. Keyboard, different types of the keyboard. Mouse, different types of mouse. Touch mouse, ball mouse, scanner, some of the image, some of the document, input to the CPU in memory. OMR, OCR, there are different types of the input we can input to the memory, the computer components of the part. So, and after that, output device. What is the output device? Output device, which device, calculation, the result. Calculation after result, when we can see control unit, instruction to the memory, to the output device, and so show the result. By output device is monitor, we can see monitor the result, instruction, message. If we can easily also print it, printer by printer, there are different types of printer. Speaker, plotter, microphone, the output device. Output device, whatever, the computer architecture mainly CPU part, input, output part. CPU part, control unit, ALU, register, and memory part. This is the architecture of the computer, John Ball architecture. John Ball architecture design is also called the storage design, storage architecture, program architecture design. All the world, these designs follow according to the Charles Babbage. Charles Babbage's theory is input, output, procedure. This is the procedure. This part is the procedure. Procedure, one part is the microprocessor. Very important microprocessor. What is the microprocessor? Microprocessor, there are different IC included. Million IC included, made by the chip. The very large scale integration, the microprocessor. Nowadays, every device, mobile, laptop, every device have processor. Processor. Look at the board processor. This is the processor. Processor. How many? The different types of processor. Pinless, without pinless, pin, and pinless processor. Firstly, processor published Intel series processor. Firstly published. Whatever, all the students go on the honors class, the different types of questions, short objective question, short question, and briefly discussion question. This part is the briefly discussion is describe the computer architecture, design and describe, and the broad question, 10 numbers. Otherwise, what is the CPU? Another question, what are the CPU? And describe the different parts of the CPU. What is the memory? Different parts of the memory. What is the RAM? What is the ROM? This is the question. Input. How many input? Please write down the input device. Please write down the output device. So this is the architecture design. Another question, different to the Harvard architecture, John Ball Newman architecture. Number 5 numbers. So next class you learn this question, solve, and homework. This is the questions you can learn homework and solve the questions. Next lecture, I want to discuss input and output device, briefly discussion. I think CPU, output, input, every device included by bus. Bus means cables, wires. Every component included cables. Every component included is the cable. This call is bus. Bus means cable, different types of cable. Some of cable, data cable, some of address cable, some of control cable, 3 parts of cables. This is essential. Every component connected cable or wires, this called is the bus. Next class, I briefly discuss what is the bus, different types of bus. Now, I want to no more discuss now end of my lecture. Every student, all I am good. Thank you.